Hi, and welcome to this live reading from Silent Creek by Jean M. Grant. And this is presented by Itsy Bitsy Book Bits. Chapter 1, Josie. Freedom teased my bloodstream as I perched on the front porch, watching the breeze flutter early spring leaves on the red maple tree. Silence swayed in my new reality. The wrens and robins were too quiet. Did they leave the nest to forage today? Where was the garbage truck? Even my neighbor Branson wasn't out with his new puppy this morning for their daily training walk. No awakening birdsong, no playful yipping, no clunk of trash cans. Quiet. Was the universe telling me to not leave? Signs or not, I would disappear. Plunging a hand at my side, I rose, stepped out onto the mown lawn, and wiggled my toes to experience the sensation of the dew-kissed grass. I inhaled, committing the scent to memory. Glittery stars blinked at me from small seas of teal on my toenails. The sight of my toes reminded me of footwebs. Some days I missed the tape from before he ruined my life. I peered into the imposing maples down the road. The inconspicuous red sedan appeared yesterday. Donovan's guy. His presence here, shadowing my escape, eased my stomach's roiling. After my departure, Donovan's hired guy would rifle through the trash and search for me online, testing what I'd learned from my lessons. 6 months of preparation brought me to this day. Although I told myself I would be okay, the last stubborn rumbles of disquiet remained. My lawyer had updated me this week, cementing my decision to move. The state had set another parole hearing for Tate in a few months. Of course, my cunning and manipulative ex-husband would get out early. The time to leave was yesterday. It's not like Tate ever physically hurt me. No, instead he suckered me repeatedly and emptied my bank accounts. Would he return to exact revenge for me standing up against him, resulting in his arrest and imprisonment? Or for me filing for divorce? Would he lure me in with another ploy begging forgiveness? Tate didn't beg. He blamed, even during the criminal charges and prosecution. I grunted defiantly. I wiped the dew off my feet and slid on socks and sneakers. Though not a necessity, I'd packed the bottles of nail polish into shipping boxes last week. A woman needed some luxuries in the backwoods of New Hampshire. There I would let my vibrancy shine, even if nobody else saw it. I licked dry lips as I tied my shoelaces. Today I would follow a lesser-used trail 5 miles into town. Then I would catch a paid ride to the bus station in Boston. One more bus to Concord, New Hampshire, then another to Silent Creek. My weary soul would find a new home nestled in the White Mountains, away from everything. Today's silence felt ominous, though. I wasn't sure what would happen when I got to the cabin. Would Silent Creek lift up to its name? Did I want it to? I stretched my hamstrings, then checked the rest of the condo. The door to the cupboard creaked as I shut it, slicing through the silence. Eloise Peterson's wind chimes sung in the light wind. I reviewed my checklist. Back door, unlocked for Hannah. Letter to Hannah, in my hand to be mailed. Shame bubbled to the surface. When my life had fallen apart, Hannah was the only one besides my brother Kyle who stood by me. He deserved a goodbye and an apology in place of a letter. I blinked wet eyes and came back to reviewing my list. Lawyer info, included in Hannah's letter, and another copy rested on the barren kitchen island, for whoever found it. Meeting with the second lawyer nobody knew about, the one handling my uncle's estate, scheduled for next week after my arrival. Keys, left on the counter. Grass, mowed. Flowers, water. Blinds, closed. Bills, paid. Bank account, emptied and closed. Rent, paid until the lease's termination in 90 days. Bleak emptiness stared back at me during the final cursory check upstairs, then downstairs. My footsteps echoed off bare walls and floorboards moaned. I rolled up the blanket to deposit it in the donation bin at the gas station. My furniture had already found new homes. Eloise only inquired once about the trucks coming to the condo. I told her I was donating items and waiting for the delivery of new furniture. The lies came easier now. Good for you, Josie, my busybody neighbor had said. Embrace the new, let go of the old. Sometimes we need a fresh start. Yesterday, I shipped a dozen boxes of the essential items to the cabin, including the deed and tax information from Uncle Morgan. Memories, the ones I chose to remember, fit into one large box. Just because I could, I filled half of a box with 3 dozen O. Henry chocolate bars. If I was moving to a neglected backwoods cabin, at least that's how I remembered it from childhood visits, I needed a treat. Painted toenails, chocolate bars, and daily coffee were my trio of indulgences, and they would get me through what lay ahead. Kate and I once made a game of trying to find O. Henry bars when we visited obscure places, as my favorite candy slowly disappeared off the grocery shelves over the years. They existed. They were out there. One just had to look. I packed a few of the tokens for my students too, a mug, handwritten notes, ornaments, crafts, and a magnet for the fridge. I rubbed my nose, stifling the sniffling. Despite being let go by the school district, I missed the kids and their bright eyes as we mastered speech, language, and auditory challenges through games and puzzles. Like the whiteboard in my classroom today, I wiped the slate clean. Munching on a crunchy, gooey, peanut buttery chocolate bar, breakfast of champions, I ducked into the empty garage. A basketball-sized grease spot stained the floor where Kate's gas-guzzling truck used to sit before I sold it. After zipping my jacket, I flipped on a slim backpack, light with its contents of a protein bar, football, cash, Massachusetts driver's license, birth certificate, social security card, pepper spray, and burner phone. I grabbed my water bottle. For the first time in a year, no ripples of anxiety constricted my throat, nor did heart palpitations seize me. I wasn't crazy. Crazy people always said that, right? I held the power now. Paranoia joined the rubbish on the curb. Hope paved the new path for me. I stepped outside for my last day in Massachusetts, the door clicking behind me. In her blue slippers and matching fuzzy bathrobe, Eloise shuffled from her front door to the community mailbox and deposited a few outgoing envelopes. She gave me a wave and a nod. Okay, so the universe wasn't out of whack this morning. It wasn't giving me a sign through its silence. I released a breath of my ridiculous thinking earlier. Don's guy waited at the end of the driveway to watch me leave. All was set. Good morning, Josie. Good to see you out. Hank blushed Eloise's cheeks, and she turned away, silently conveying a gesture of understanding. Responding with a half smile, I deposited Hannah's letter in the mailbox too, and tucked the candy bar wrapper and checklist into my backpack. Ready or not, silence and solitude and freedom awaited me. With jelly legs, I stepped onto the path and walked off the grid.